in defense, telemedicine, image compression, and biosensors. He has guided over 250 engineering graduates, 100 postgraduates, and 3 doctoral scholars, and has an impressive body of research published in reputed scientific journals. Currently, he is also passionately working on the IKS, that is Indigenous Knowledge System, and its intersection with medical health, spiritual well being, and education. It is truly a privilege for us to learn from a scholar of such a caliber and insight. With great pleasure and anticipation, I invite Professor Dr. Sushil Chandra to take the floor and lead us to the today's enlightening session on mental health in education. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Monica and Dr. Sanjay. Firstly, good evening. Very good evening to all of you. I think I'm really happy to really thanks for CTPD, especially organizing this lecture and giving me an opportunity to interact with all of you. Okay. As Dr. Monica said, firstly, I think let me tell about my flow of my discussion today. One, I'll tell you that what I was trying to do in case of a defense and how that is correlated here with the teachers. Then, as rightly said by Professor Sanjay as well as Monica ji, the kinds of challenges which teachers in today's date they are facing it, but they are only not supposed to take care of their challenges. Rather, they have to groom the students, or I call them better future citizens. So that's a whole responsibility which they are taking care. We normally say that in case if a man is illiterate, he is only harming few people. If a female is illiterate, that means like a whole family and generation. But in case if teacher is not able to take care of their students, I think generations for the country, it affects a lot. So with that, my flow will be firstly, what are the kinds of challenges which many of the teachers are facing? With that, then we will try to say that again, every teacher is firstly a human being. So the kinds of being a human being or emotional well-being, how we can take care of their emotional well-being part and how that is more related to finally their cognitive outcomes, which depends and how they are able to think and all, how they are able to comprehend all those things. And then finally, because I have been a tech person, I've been into technology most of the time. So then I'll try to touch, in case if the time permits, uh, the kinds of penetration of technologies in the life is also creating a huge challenge for education system itself. So then how that is also going to impact. And last but not the least, as Dr. Monica said, I've got a little interest on IKS, Indian Knowledge System, because I've been working on those lines also. If the time permits, I'll share on that also. Okay. So now I'll start with firstly, like what are the kinds of challenges which most of the time teachers are facing? I don't know because I have only started facing these kinds of challenges since last 2 years because I was a researcher, not an educator. But then also what my experience is, it varies even not only day wise, not only month wise, it varies even the session wise. For example, I have felt it even in case of a kind of a midterm session, first semester, second semester, during which term. I was trying to find out one of the Australian study in which they are saying that in case if we divide in three terms, term one, term two, term three, normally the maximum burnout in case of a teacher happens in term three. That's what they have found out. Causes could be many, whether it is a heavy workload. Heavy workload also starts from whether we are starting from lesson planning to grading to administrative tasks, managing the classrooms, then planning for the next. So there are uh, standing already going on issues. But now what is happening? The responsibilities are continuously increasing. As I was saying, the constantly the educational landscape is fully changing. And it is not only changing, like I was saying, for incorporating technology into lesson. I still remember in my time, it used to be a blackboard where teacher is writing, then got converted only into the PPT format, starting from computers, using computers. Then after that, the videos starting involving videos and all. Now even the students are well trained. They have already done a little homework based on AI. And coming to the next part, the kinds of challenges which we normally call it that which are there with the students, whether it is a social and emotional learning part or the anxious trauma impacted students, and then you are handling with them. So that's also creating, I'll use the word kind of a stress in teachers' mind. Why I just gave a background because normally, as I was saying, that I'll share about my work, I'll come to that place. My work was cognitive assessment and enhancement of soldiers. So, cognitive assessment normally it is like uh, जो बौद्धिक क्षमताएं हैं हमारी. So, like for example, in case if I tell about cognitive factor, it starts from thinking. Firstly, हम कैसा सोचते हैं? How do we think? Whether are we thinking positively, are we stressed, and then we are thinking negatively, or the kinds of planning we are making, kinds of decisions we are making, or our memory also. So all these cognitive factors do decline because of stresses. So as I was saying that in case if these are the kinds of burnout reasons and the kinds of stresses which a teacher is also facing, then cognitive declines takes place in case of any kinds of stresses, whether it is an emotional challenge, whether it is a uh, psychological, physiological, physical, any kinds of challenge do decline our cognitive abilities. So in that case, once that decline will take place, it is not only the processing of the information by the teacher himself or herself, it is rather to convey the message because they are going to convey learning and the how the learning is taking place is, as I was saying, it affects on social and emotional status of our mindset. So what I'm trying to convey, in case if a teacher is already having a little low symptoms, for example, whether it is loss of motivation or a little less passionate for teaching, because as Dr. Sanjay was saying, it's a noble profession where the teaching comes with the passion. It is not only a profession, it is coming with the heart. And we are, as I normally say, that we are creating better future citizen in case we ourselves are feeling the challenges like emotional dysregulation. For example, because of any reason, if we are feeling sad or we are angry, or because of some reason we are frustrated or depressed, how it is going to impact us. I normally call it two parts also, like how much we are emotionally intelligent. And second part, we are normally saying that what kind of a mindset we have got, whether we have got a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. So these are the two factors. But again, no doubt with most of the teachers, this is not the issue. But as per the data, because I did the little homework for international status, that even among teachers also, the kinds of lack of self confidence and self worth also has started becoming a problem now. And that happens because of whether they have got a less sleep patterns, whether because of social media related addictions, they are having less sleeps or disturbed sleep, which is finally affecting them, or they have got a physical exhaustion. So, in that case, finally, how those kinds of teachers' stress or burnout have to be taken care. And for that reason, they have to rediscover their purpose and reflect on what what was the reason and why they like to be teacher. So for that reason, there are multiple contemplative practices, whether it is Raj Yoga meditation, whether it is mindfulness. In today's date, especially in India, there are lots of practices. But in that also, firstly, as I said it, I have got a little more inclination towards uh, emotional intelligence. So with that, I'll try to go on that part. Uh, I'm a little more inclined towards Daniel Goleman, whose bestseller book is Emotional Intelligence, and he has defined it in four quadrants. And I'll try to touch all four quadrants also. But before than that, I'll try to say that how much, as he has said it in first quadrant, how much we are self-aware. Self-aware, I'm also talking about my emotions. Am I am I aware that what are my feelings at this moment? Am I able to perceive my emotions correctly? Because as per me, I think God has given us a wonderful gift that the moment if I'm aware about my emotions, my emotional regulation automatically starts. So, firstly, if I'm able to perceive that what is my uh, state of mind, and I'm feeling, in case if I say for negative part, whether I'm having a kind of a fear or I'm having a joy. Either I'm feeling angry or I'm in a positive mindset. So all these kinds of these factors, which he has said it, and four quadrants. So, for example, emotionally intelligent, if it is having a low emotional quotient, it will be automatically clear that that means the person is worried or he's anxious or he's confused even about his priorities and all. Maybe he's feeling that within the this much of a time period, how much I have to perform, and because of that reason, his performance starts declining. While he's not being observing that because of that stressful situation, or maybe because he or she is not able to have a excellent or like a combination of a work and life balance. And then finally, it starts affecting our physiological parameters also. Many of you might have already observed that part with yourself also. I normally try to say that in case if we say, if it's in case of physical terminology, if you take a deep breath, lots of the changes or challenges which you are facing will automatically come down. Or because I was going through one of the study in which that was related to suicide prevention, and they were saying it 60% of the suicides are preventable. And the first tip which they had also given it, start counting from 1 to 10. If you are able to count up to 10, that means your thought will change. And at the moment, if your thought will change, that means the trigger which somebody has got it will be vanished. And he'll not be able to do those kinds of negative activities. While in case, as I was discussing till now about the negative aspects, let us talk about emotionally intelligent person. He'll be not only self-aware, I'm sure he or she will be quite motivated, having good perception, uh, will be able to accurately understand not only his or her mindset, rather others' mindset also. Uh, Maybe that most of the time he'll be thinking or she'll be thinking only on a positive aspect, having a wonderful flexibility. We normally call it the kinds of skills which we have got. Many of us have got wonderful listening skills. Many a times, if the listening skills, if, if it is even little low, many of you might have already observed that before somebody completes his statements, we start speaking. And that time you might have felt it, many of the good words which he or she was going to share have not entered properly in our awareness itself. So then in that case, good listening skill, then comes a good speaking skill. Many of us are wonderful, uh, valuable researchers, educators, and all, have got wonderful thoughts, but are not able to communicate properly our thoughts also. And in case of a teachers, that becomes too important a factor. And that also comes because of these awareness, then regulation, and then after that, once we start understanding the situations properly. What my meaning is, like at present also we are around 100 people, and uh, I'm giving the same information, but everybody is selecting few of the information. I normally call it God has given us a kind of a intellect that at the time of listening itself, a brain is putting in different bins. Some of the statements, many of you might be feeling it's useless, it is going into dustbin. Many of you might be feeling it is too important a thing, then you might be putting into long-term memory. Or many of you might be thinking what he's going to say next. So that means it's on a short-term memory. So God has given us a gift to select the situations, to select the decisions. So that means we say that the stimulus comes for many of us same, but the response of every one of us becomes very, very different. Many of us who are emotionally intelligent, they are not dependent only on situations, they are capable of even modifying the situations because of their responses. And there I'll try to come with my few factors also that there are attentions, there are lots of attentive factors, whether our visual attention or auditory attention, where it is going. Many of times you might have felt it that we are completely listening, which is up to the sensual level. Brain is listening, but it is not processing the information. So that means in Hindi, I'll say that कि हम कई दफे सुना हुआ भी अनसुना कर पाते हैं, देखा हुआ भी अनदेखा कर पाते हैं. So in that case, the God has given us a power to select our attention level. If we want to listen or if we want to be attentive, then only then we can be attentive. Or otherwise, we may neglect that situation and we may not be influenced by the responses or the tendencies which is going to be impacted our response. So what till now I was trying to say that, in fact, many of the things start with the self. And self, the God given powers to us are we are actually quite peaceful. We are a happy being and very strong mindset people. Mind given by God to us is actually quite clear, creative, alert. The given, if we say the body itself was actually decision free, it was quite balanced one. But the kinds of over-exhaustive utilization or a misutilization also have started affected. And then why, how it has started affected? Even our relationships also. So that means what I'm trying to say that ideally we were made to have an harmonial relations, loveful relations. But into today's date, I'm sure many of you must be knowing about social and emotional learning program, where relationship building itself is one of the factor which is being addressed like anything. And relationship building itself is multifold, whether relations with my parents, relationship with my kids, relationship with my friends, my brothers or sisters, so multiple kinds of relations. And once we are able to have wonderful relations, we start impacting the society. And the society, that means, again, I'll try to say positive aspects of it. Then the society becomes quite organized, it becomes quite peaceful, and finally the environment becomes harmonious and the balanced one. I'll try to say a few spiritual statements. God has given us the inner powers, which are power to face, power to tolerate. And normally, most of us at the teaching time have started telling now, emphasizing now, which was our uh, quite important ingredient in our Indian knowledge system, the power of cooperation. I don't know how we learned about power of competition, but our meaning was even if we were using the power of competition, we were saying for competing with the self, not with the others. If we are competing with the self means if I have scored today 70%, I'll try to score 75% because I scored 70% last time. Not because others have scored 75%. So I have to score 75% or more on that. So that was the understanding, even if we talk about the competition part. But more of the competition, it was more of a cooperation. We were learning. Uh, the statement, I'll use it here. Sarve bhavantu sukhne. Means हम लोगों का the statement itself was very, very different. I'll try to share how do we perceive the information, because it's not only a lecture, because all of you are wonderful teachers. I'll try to create a situation. No? Uh, if I'm seeing I'm going on a rainy time, it's a rainy day, and if I'm going on the road, somebody has parked his vehicle wrongly in front of a medicine shop, and it's blocking the way. What most of us will feel it. So he doesn't have in that much of a sense. He should have parked the vehicle correctly. We could have also gone smoothly. So lots of abusing will come for him. So that is the kind of a situation, the way we perceive. Now let me change a little situation. That person is a doctor. He has he is in a hurry. So that is why he is partly parked the vehicle wrongly, because he's collecting a medicine because somebody has met with an accident. He's collecting the medicine, rushing towards that place. That's why he is not bothered about the parking. Now, the perception of the situation, what will happen? We'll feel a great regard for the same person whom we were a minute back abusing. So that is the situation. How we are perceiving the situation, being in the same situation, it can vary a lot. So that is how we have to understand not only about self-awareness, not about the self-control or self-feeling. As I said it, that responses vary. Triggers may be same. It varies for everyone differently. Not only for the motivation part and the competition part. I was using in my presentation most of the time for corporates. Uh, I know everybody knows about CCD. That's a cafe coffee day, but I use the terminology CCB, that choose, chase, and become. That means, firstly, you can choose what you want to be. You can choose what the response should be as per the situation. Because there also I've been using a statement that you are the own creator of your own thoughts. I'll repeat it. You are the own creator of your own thoughts. So you have the full power of creating the kinds of thoughts. So once you are able to create the thought positively, that means you are able to choose the response which you are going to give it. And then, second, I said it, chase. So, in case if anywhere, because I'm sure many of you might have heard about the word neuroplasticity. Earlier, we used to call it like the kinds of environment or the kinds of genetic factors, whatever our mind has taken a shape, it cannot be changed. But based on neuroplasticity, people have started saying it that at any age, you are able to transform your thinking. So you can change the situations effectively and you can finally become what you want to become. As all of you have chosen to become an excellent educator, so in that case, your responsibility is too much. I'm sure at present, because I'm using extempore, I'm not showing the video. Otherwise, I could have shown you the video, but I'll request you to see the uh, video by putting life without limbs. Music is the person. I'll request you to see the video related to him. He is actually having not any limb. So both upper limb and lower limb, both all four are not there. But he is supposed to be the most beautiful motivating speaker of the world. So in case of the person, even in that situation, also can become the best motivator of the world. God has given us wonderful uh, body, mind, and an opportunity to share the uh, purpose and groom the people. And I will use the word the way we create the purpose for our life. And being an educator, we will be definitely be allowing our student to filter out and convert information into knowledge and finally into wisdom. Because that's the potential which God has given us. And finally, what I'm trying to convey that you are the one who is going to give them an idea how to unlock the treasure within. So, how to unlock the treasure within? Firstly, you have to unlock the treasure of yourself. But the kinds of burnout situations, the kinds of challenges and changes which every one of is facing. For example, let me take one simple example, which I was again going through that Australian document, managing uncertainty. The kinds of uncertainty in today's date is happening, and that is leading us lots of emotional and cognitive kinds of challenges. I'll use here three words. I've been using it in my technical discussions: behavioral, cognitive, and finally neural. So, behavioral means, as I was till now preaching, that because of this we can choose our response. But let me take a negative part because of whatever reasons I'm feeling angry. So that means my behavioral resilience is a little poor. But God has given further gifts. Even if my behavioral resilience is poor, I'm feeling angry, but maybe that my cognitive resilience is intact. That means even after feeling angry, whatever I was trying to convey, whatever decision I was supposed to make, whatever planning I was supposed to make, that is still intact. That means my cognitive resilience is further better. And neural factor, I will share only one of my students' research that based on meditation, we are able to change even our brain networks up to that particular level that uh, the kinds of meditators' brain networks and structural changes are there that they are bound to give a positive response even in case of adverse situations. So that is how they have developed their things. And finally, in case of a technical way, I try to say that uh, consciousness finally comes into the three filter aspects. Firstly comes the intellect, that means lots of information, whether by the senses or beyond the senses, we were getting all the time. But then our intellect was able to convey it to us that this is right, this is wrong. So what we are trying to choose it, that becomes our behavior. So that means we try to call it that kinds of a sanskar, or it goes in our learning. And that the way we try to shift our consciousness. And that's how our cognitive processes becomes much better. So with that, I think I will try to come on the factors which we are trying to now presently uh, facing with the students. That also I thought let me share because few of our research projects are going on. That can we try to identify what our students are facing? I don't know how many of you are aware that the kinds of challenges which students of today's date have started facing. I will tell you one of my study which I performed in 2022, 3 years back. No doubt it was just after COVID. So might be a little wrong. But that study normally I try to convey because all of you are teachers and will take a notice of it. That study was done on 159 students of UG PG. And believe it, that's one of the most popular university of NCR. I'm not quoting the name. And in that, the study was telling that 70% of them were suffering from moderate to severe anxiety and depression. I'll repeat my statement. 70% of them were facing moderate to severe anxiety and depression. And the worst part was neither the students were aware, nor the teachers were aware, and nor their parents are aware. So, what is the kind of a society, as I was using word BFC, better future citizens? So, what are the kinds of future citizens we are going to create? So, the kinds of responsibility which we teachers have got it, even in case of a situations, once I'm talking about the kinds of challenges which burnouts we teachers are facing. So, we have to take care of that part also. I'm sure most of you must be already knowing more than me related to the new education policy in which they have emphasized on social and emotional learning. But most of the studies which I am trying to quote on here is three parts. One is, can we screen them? Can we try to know not only ours, even their mental state? That's one. Second, can we create such kinds of curriculum which is already uh, being uh, proposed and Because why I'm saying CBSE and lots of stalwart NCRT, all of them are trying to do that. Let me appreciate CTPD also. They are also putting a huge efforts, not only for teachers, not only for parents, not only for students. So, but in that case, firstly, we have to know what are the kinds of challenges which they are facing. And based on those challenges, how we can utilize our Indian knowledge system to create the components, means the modules for training them, and finally see the impact. And on the last part, which I said that the impact, our school is trying to work on to do the study based on psychological aspects in case if we can help in the screening of the students, and then finally creating a lab in which we can try to convey these social and emotional learning modules related to that. Uh, Now, if the time is permitting, I'll try to touch upon, as I was trying to say, that I was working in the field of artificial intelligence, but artificial intelligence actually has been copied or learned from the human intelligence part. And finally, how it is going to impact the society, that has to be taken care. So, what my meaning by these three words is artificial intelligence is a wonderful tool in case if we are using it. So that means what I try to normally convey, if we are using it as our secretary, means as our subordinate, AI is a wonderful tool. But in case if we are not applying our human intelligence, then brain has got initially given by God again a wonderful gift, either use it or lose it. So, in case if we are not applying our common abilities, the human intelligence, which I am trying to say that, because of using AI as a tool, then in that case, slowly the kinds of abilities will start compromising. I normally try to give for that simple example in my discussions. I'm sure you will correlate it with the incidents which I'll quote it here. I was staying in DRDO campus. Normally, if I'm purchasing one thing from the shop in the campus, he's taking money. But the moment if I am taking two things, he's using calculator. And most of you must be already knowing in case of mathematics, arithmetic is the easiest one. And in case of arithmetics, first statement which is taught to the students is addition. So if a person has started missing the dimensions related to addition because calculator has come, calculator came in case if the calculations are enormous, that to be utilized, not to lose our addition like ability. So with that, what I was trying to communicate, AI should be used. It's a wonderful tool, but AI should not started using us. So that's where we will start compromising our human intelligence. I will try to give one or two examples related to meditation. In case if you have experienced, all of you might have already experienced meditations. Normally, in case if the commentary is going on into the back, that close your eyes, you are into a garden, you are feeling like there is a very good smell, there are very colorful flowers. So that means you have started traveling into the same journey. So that means God has given us a wonderful visualization capability. Now, what we are most of the time using is Google Map. All of us are using, including me. But are you knowing that in case, suppose if I've gone to Dr. Sanjay's house, what second time I used to remember? That means I used to firstly register the information that after 13 kilometer I had taken a right turn. Then after that, there was a square where from I took a left turn. Then from third street, the fourth house it was there. And that's how I had reached. So that means I have registered the information. That's a cognitive factors which I'm telling you. I was saying I'll try to touch upon the cognitive factors also. But now what is happening? You are simply using Google Maps, so you are not registering the information itself. If you are not registering the information will not be processed and it will not be recalled. So it will not be recalled means second time again when I'm going, I'll again start using Google Map. So I'm not using recall. So the kinds of brain networks which were becoming strong and strong, which were not only for that visualization factor, but for many more cognitive factors, which we are not challenging. In that case, so that means again, I'll say that the same statement, technology is a wonderful tool, whether it is AI, whether it is virtual reality, whether it is Google Maps or multiple other things, but we should use it. We should not be uh, controlled by these things. So, with that, I will try to communicate few outcomes related to the meditation factor. I was trying to say that uh, visualization is a wonderful tool which has been processed and which is a good research. I'll give you another example. Uh, one of the study by uh, Dana Foundation. If you want to note down, you can note down. It's a neuro-related best foundation in the world, DANA, Dana Foundation. They have done a wonderful study that the kinds of सोलह कला जो हम लोग बोलते हैं 16 arts, that in case, let me take one example. For example, music. If I'm playing guitar, a particular part of my brain is getting activated. But that same portion might be responsible for my mathematical abilities also. So they are doing a research just by teaching them guitar, can we create an army of mathematicians? So those kinds of studies on our 16 arts, Sola Kala, people are doing. So that's where I was trying to touch our Indian knowledge system. In case of our Indian knowledge system, the kinds of richness it is happening, the kinds of music, I have given one example, but whether it is creating poetry, making a painting, all these do have an impact, or the kinds of brain networks it gets impacted is a special art, which because of multiple these kinds of technologies, we have started compromising. So that was my request or my message was in the last that can we start using these technologies in such a way so that we are going to have a beautiful social impact finally on the society. So with that, I think I'll try to stop it here because I have taken a little more time. It was supposed to be more of a question answer session, but I'll stop it here.
Thank you so much, sir, for that deeply enriching and thought provoking session. Your insight and data driven information has opened new avenues for reflection and action within us. The mantra that you have given us of CCB, that is choose, chase, and become the creator of your own, will remain with us, and we will try to implement this thing in our life. And the message that you have shared with us, that AI, we should use AI. So we will make a point that we are not becoming the slave of AI, that we are completely dependent upon AI. But yes, to enhance our work, we will surely use AI as well. And you have tried to touch almost every aspect, IKS, neuroscience, every aspect of your field. And we are glad in such a small span of time you have covered so much, sir. Thank you so much. And with this, I will like to present, just a sec. A token of gratitude from the organizers of the conference for this your resources and help, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Monica. In case of the time permits, because I think in chat box one question came.
Yes, sir.
I don't
We
know
will
how many
start.
questions are there. In
मोनिका
case,
मैम,
Yes,
हाँ,
sir.
एक क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन रखिएगा, वो मैं आपको बीच में थोड़ा सा बताना।
ठीक है सर, अभी करते हैं. Dear participants, the floor is open for questions. Some of the participants has earlier also posted the question in the chat box, and those who have not still messaged in the chat box can do so, please. So, should I read the questions?
पहला क्वेश्चन मैं पूछ लेता हूँ सर से, मेरी
Okay.
मेरी बड़ी जिज्ञासा है। सुशील सर, परमिशन है?
Professor Sanjay, it's my pleasure.
थैंक यू। मुझे सर, मतलब मैं अगर प्रैक्टिकली देखूं तो मुझे टीचर से भी खतरनाक तब लगता है जब अगर कोई प्रिंसिपल, हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट या डीन, उनकी मेंटल हेल्थ अच्छी ना हो तो वो और ज्यादा खतरनाक हो जाता है किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, क्योंकि वो फिर टीचर्स पे इम्पैक्ट होता है उसका और वो फिर स्टूडेंट्स पे जाता है। जैसे कि मैं आपको बताऊं एक बड़ा प्रैक्टिकल सा, एक बहुत विजिबल सा डिफरेंस देखता हूं मैं कोविड के बाद। और उसको अगर मैं टर्म दूं तो शायद कुछ रिसर्च पेपर भी हो इस पर, टेक्नो स्ट्रेस स्पेसिफिकली। वो स्ट्रेस जो टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से, खासकर उन लोगों में जिनकी एज मैं कहूँगा 35+ में है, तो उनके लिए बड़ा चैलेंज है। वो सीखना अलग चैलेंज है और वो जो प्रेशर है टेक्नोलॉजी का वो एक अलग तरह का है। और चेंजेस क्या है सर, वो मैं आपको बताऊं कि मान लीजिए इंस्टीट्यूशन का टाइम 9 to 5 है और हम वापस घर लौट रहे हैं और 4 मैसेज आगे कि ये वर्क भी अभी करने हैं आपको, तो हम घर नहीं पहुंचे हैं लेकिन वर्क असाइन हो गया है। और टीचर्स को जब कभी घर पहुंचेंगे तो वो कुछ भी नहीं करेंगे, जाके सबसे पहले कोशिश करेंगे कि मैं इसे कंप्लीट करूं, और जब तक वो कंप्लीट होगा 2 मैसेज और आ चुके होंगे। उसके बाद इंस्टीट्यूशन लेवल पे मैं क्या देखता हूँ, एक वर्ड था जो आपने लिया था, माइंडफुलनेस। इसकी सर बम्बार्डमेंट है वर्कशॉप का। इंस्टीट्यूशंस को लगता है कि माइंडफुलनेस की एक वर्कशॉप करा देते हैं तो इनकी मेंटल हेल्थ टीचर्स की ठीक हो जाएगी। अब ये किसी को फिक्र नहीं है कि जब आप 24 आवर्स में से 16 आवर्स वर्क कराएंगे तो आप फिर कुछ भी कीजिए वो कैसे मेंटल हेल्थ ठीक होगी। यानी मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है कि जो सिस्टम है, जो टॉप में बैठे हुए लीडर्स हैं, चाहे वो प्रिंसिपल्स हो, वाइस चांसलर्स हो या डीन्स हो, उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से एक स्टडी भी होनी चाहिए कि वो वर्कलोड कितना हो, कितना अपना टाइम, कितना वर्क टाइम। और तब हम अगर माइंडफुलनेस या इस तरह की वर्कशॉप की बात करें तो शायद मेंटल हेल्थ पे ज्यादा पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, इंस्टीड ऑफ कि हम इन चीजों को एज ए मेडिसिन यूज कर रहे हैं, फिर कह रहे हैं इसका इम्पैक्ट आ नहीं रहा है, टीचर्स सीरियस नहीं होते। मतलब ये मेरा बहुत ही प्रैक्टिकली देखा हुआ और बहुत सारे लोगों से बात करके मतलब एक एक्सपीरियंस है जो मैं आपके साथ शेयर कर रहा हूँ। तो इस पर आप क्या कहेंगे सर?
नहीं डॉक्टर साहब, आपके स्टेटमेंट अपने आप में आंसर भी हैं। मैं आपसे पूरी तरह सहमत हूँ। फर्स्टली लेट मी अप्रिशिएट, और मैं उसको दूसरे तरीके से बोलूँगा,
जी।
leadership plays the most important role. I'll give you an example in case if I ask you or if any one of you. Lots of top research organizations, top leaders. अगर मैं CSIR के चीफ के बात करूं, मशेलकर के बाद में किसी को उसके बाद में चीफ कौन है उनके नाम नहीं याद होंगे। So here what I'm trying to already endorsing your statement, all organizations definitely depend on the leadership. Leadership could be at the organizational level or up to the dean level, as you rightly said it. So firstly, they have to be the best human being. So their training is first required. You are rightly saying that. That is one part. Another part is, I think I used the word all of us also have to learn about work-life balance. Whatever work situations happens, again, I'm quoting a big name because luckily he was chief of our organization also, Dr. Kalam. He was having the time even for the young children also, even after becoming president, because I had the privilege to meet him even up to the president house. So he was able to have managing balance between work as well as life. So sometimes the kinds of, as Dr. Monica said it, and I was trying to convey about the CCB, we are not able to choose what is right and what is wrong. We normally get, as you rightly said it, कि हमारे पास 16 इंफॉर्मेशन और आ गई, फिर उनको खत्म करें और जब तक घर पहुंचे 4 फिर और आ गई. So in that case, we'll have to learn in case of our leader is not learning. So we will have to learn. So we have to have a work-life balance. So I strongly agree with you. And the question is also the same. The principal or the team leader has to be
Whoever is the leader.
definitely
Yes,
understood
definitely.
that. So nobody can say wrongly that firstly, leaders have to be correct. लास्ट पॉइंट मैं इसमें यहाँ पे एक लाइन और ऐड करना चाहूंगा. मेनी ऑफ टाइम एक एक मिस्टेक हो रहा है, मैं लीडर बन जा रहा हूँ बट मैं उस टीचर के प्रोसेस से सारे से नहीं गुजरा हूं. तो अगर मैं उस सारे से गुजरा नहीं हूं, then in that case I have not understood the all kinds of challenges properly. So
Yes.
how will I be able to do the justice? Because I have not understood fully. So that also has started happening. But I'm sure in case if they are trained properly, it will be good. I'm not biased for my defense, but those kinds of best training in India is normally in defense. I hope it will not be taken a biased statement, but that's a truth. There, even in case of any promotion, they try to give the training and then only they promote it. And in that training, starting from work to life balance. If you are becoming from lieutenant colonel to colonel, how you have to take care of your system below you, because many of them, they are on site. They are not even meeting their families. So all those factors are very nicely taught. So anyway, my answer has become a little longer.
जी, थैंक यू सर. अभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स कुछ क्वेश्चन भी पूछना चाहते हैं, शायद कुछ आइडियाज आ गए उनको भी क्वेश्चन के. तो जिसको भी क्वेश्चन पूछना ना, जस्ट अपना हैंड रेज कर दीजिए तो मैं ओपन कर दूंगा आपको ऑडियो, जिससे आप क्वेश्चन पूछ पाए.
सर कुछ एक क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट में है, शुड आई रीड दैट?
एक-
First question, I think first question was on the same thing, that what should be the role of principal or school for playing teacher well-being? Sir has answered that. Now the second question is, how can school normalize conversation about teacher mental health?
एक्चुअली डॉक्टर मोनिका, इसका मैंने जान के इसलिए आंसर नहीं दिया था क्योंकि इसका आंसर डॉक्टर संजय के आंसर में छुपा हुआ था. नॉर्मली हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं कि वो कुछ फिर एक वर्कशॉप एक लेक्चर और करा के छोड़ देते हैं. वाइल ये लेक्चर ना करा के इनका थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपोजर, आई एम अ लिटिल biased towards many spiritual organizations, and they are having lots of experiential exposures related to that. That may help a little more rather than the lectures. But उसका भी एक दुविधा है, let me frankly accept it. जिनको जरूरत है वो अटेंड नहीं करते हैं, जो अवेयर हैं वही अटेंड करते हैं.
वही attend
अब इसका आंसर कहाँ से लाया जाएगा? आई थिंक आई डोंट हैव.
And one more participant is Alka Sahani. Alka,
Yeah,
you
good.
can ask your question directly.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so
And,
much for this
Alka,
interactive
wait a
session.
minute. Alka, wait a minute. You can open your video also. You can start your.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right, sir. I hope I'm visible now. Yeah, thank you so very much, sir, for this wonderful interaction. Being a school leader myself, I feel many a times, like I question myself actually, am I genuinely committed to a teacher well-being, or I'm just box ticking this exercise? That's a question for me, because we go for the workshops. I myself take, as a CBSE resource person, I take the mental health workshops. But end of the day, I have this guilt that I'm just ticking the boxes. And I really am looking for some practical actions which, as school leaders, I can take to start improving my teachers mental health. लेक्चर देना, वर्कशॉप करना, इंटरेक्शन करना, मुझे लगता है that becomes more of a theoretical thing, and I'm not able to understand a teacher's burnout effectively. I hope I'm able to, tell what my question is exactly. So I'm looking for three practical actions and how I can partner with other mental health organizations where they can come and collaborate with us, and we can talk more about it, have good awareness about the whole mental health issues.
Okay. अलका जी 3 पॉइंट बोलूंगा. फर्स्टली लेट मी प्रेज यू इन केस. फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज रियलाइजेशन. So you already have crossed that realization state. You are actually realizing it, that it is needed somewhere, some mistake is there or not. Am I right or wrong? So that stage is already there with you. So that way, let me appreciate that one point. Second,
Thank you,
I'll
sir.
differ from you. My last statement was maybe workshop or maybe experiential session, whatever I'm trying to convey, that actually do impact, and do impact at any age and at any level, including you. I'll quote you an example. I was approximately 37 years old. I was not believing kinds of meditative practices, the results and all. But when I started practicing it, I was saying that I don't have time. But after that, I realized even after organizing everything, I have got enough time for my meditative practices also. So, in case if we try to experience these kind of practices, actually, we try to only listen, we try only to see, but we don't try to experience these practices. In case
Absolutely.
the moment we start experiences these practices, it do impact, it do changes up to that level that we started understanding others the way they want them to be understood.
Absolutely. I think, yes.
And no doubt, third part which you have asked, because you have given me only 3 points. So third point is to identify such organizations who are actually working. There are multiple in today's date, but to identify correct people is actually a challenge. Not to praise my own faculty that way, let me appreciate Dr. Sakshi, who has been a resource person. She has got a wonderful combination, having hundreds of challenges, maybe on a personal life, but her professional life, she is able to coordinate very well. So if I have that combination, I'm sure all of you can do that, and all of you must be doing it. Not to praise her, but that's the truth.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. And I think you are blessed with such a team. And I think we all are also. And I think it's the need of the hour that we understand each other's perspectives and, have empathize, I think, more with each other.
Yeah. You rightly said it. You rightly said it.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so very
Please.
much.
Yogita, you can ask your question.
Yeah. Good evening to one and all. Sir, my question is like, as human beings, no, teachers' personal and professional lives often overlap because teachers are also human beings. So, how can we as a teacher recognize when the personal stress is affecting our professional mental health and when is professional stress is affecting our personal mental health? And I also want to know like what steps we must take to create a healthy boundary or balance between these two things, because these are very crucial aspects. We cannot even neglect any of the aspect of our lives.
Okay, Dr. Yogita, let me firstly say my incompetence. So within a minute, I think I may not be able to answer, but I'll try to answer in short, which I've been giving into the corporates. I normally try to say into three terms. I use that. I might have discussed with my colleague Dr. Sakshi also. The terminology I use it PPS. And PPS is first P is for personal, and second P is for professional, and third P is for social/spiritual. We can take it social or we can take it spiritual as per our thinking. And the sequence is the same. So firstly, in case if we are planning our day, I'm using it in a very short way. I'm trying to answer your question. So our first noting should be for personal. So I have to go to a shop, I have to purchase this thing, whatever the personal points are there, or I have to go for gym for my exercises and all. Then only then on a second level, we should write our professional work plans for the day. The second P comes second only. Many times which we started committing mistake, and that time we say that we don't have a good work-life balance. So personal has to come first, then professional. And then in case if we are satisfied with both the factors, personal as well as professional, then only then we'll be able to realize that we are a social identity, we are a social animal, we are living in a society. So we have got commitment for society. And if we are further elevated a soul, then up to the spiritual level, we'll be able to have a bigger purpose in the life. That is where I normally give a few lectures on this. So I'm trying to answer it in 1 minute, but I think PPS itself is a complete lecture. So I don't know whether I've answered your question. You have to unmute first.
Ma'am, you need to unmute yourself, Yogita ma'am.
I think she may not be permitted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for answering my question. And I think we must learn correctly to prioritize things according to the PPS, what you just have told. So I've got my answer, sir. Thank you so much.
I'll only add one particular line.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how many of us plan our day.
I try to do, sir. Yeah.
So I'm sorry in case if I'm giving a negative comment, but that's a
No,
truth. In case if we are able to plan our day, God has given us a again wonderful gift. I normally plan that also plan in my mind, but
yes.
that's not a planning. If I have put it on a paper, that means my cognitive offloading has taken
Yeah.
place.
So, sir, there's a section in WhatsApp that is a personal section, no? There I always write my plans.
So that's good.
That's my
That's good.
habit.
Anywhere, wherever you're writing.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I think मोनिका मैम चेक कर दीजिए चैट बॉक्स में या किसी का क्वेश्चन अभी बचता है तो
एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है चैट में, वो हम डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. हाउ कैन स्कूल इंट्रोड्यूस टेक्नोलॉजी इन अ वे दैट सपोर्ट बोथ स्टूडेंट एंड टीचर मेंटल हेल्थ? हाउ टेक्नोलॉजी कैन हेल्प?
Okay, there I'll say again three statements. One is I think Professor Sanjay had made a statement that lots of technology which is becoming a challenge. I normally use it. It's helping us cognitively or it is cognitively loading us. Lots of technological interventions which for many of teachers is actually becoming a problem. So that is one part. But another part, if I am understanding the question correctly, how the technology can be utilized. Now there are lots of startup and few companies in India who are working on evaluation of our mental well-being. They're using chatbots, and one of good friend of mine is also working on these lines. In case if the schools are interested, I can connect with them. Dr. Sakshi can pass it on later. But that is one. So in case those organizations or startup who are trying to work for AI to be used for mental well-being screening. So firstly, that is the part where the technology should be used. Second part, technology using, I think I will say in place of students, teachers training, which lots of government steps are already on. But again, who knows they are putting efforts, who do not know they are not coming up forward. So there also that can be utilized. Last but not the least, I'm a supporter of IKS. हमारे यहाँ बहुत सारे सिस्टम हैं फॉर एग्जांपल म्यूजिक थेरेपी आई एम associated with one of the person who is an expert on singing bowl therapy. So there are multiple such methods which in case if time permits for school teachers or school leaders, these kinds of workshops which are experiential sessions should be organized for not only for teachers, rather for students also. That's where I'll stop it. And I'll say before you summarize, I think I have done injustice by covering multiple topics because I try to cover neuroscience, cognition, learning, stress, and meditative practices. So within short span of time, if I have done some injustice covering all, I hope all of you will excuse me for that. Yes, and over to you now.
इसमें सर मैं एक चीज ऐड करना चाहूंगा कि डिफरेंट सर्वेज भी जो है ना वो ये बताते हैं आपका एनसीईआरटी से लेकर डिफरेंट प्राइवेट कंपनीज भी हैं कि 65 से लेकर अप्रोक्स 85% टीचर्स ये एक्सेप्ट करते हैं कि टेक्नोलॉजी कहीं ना कहीं उनका जो वर्कलोड है उसको कम कर रही है, जिसकी वजह से स्ट्रेस कम हो रहा है, वो अपने वर्क को ठीक से मैनेज भी कर पा रहे हैं। पर दूसरी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि देखा जाए तो टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का होना और ट्रेनिंग्स का होना वो बहुत कम है। अभी भी अगर मैं थोड़ा सा मेट्रो सिटीज से थोड़ा सा बाहर जाऊं, हार्डली 20-25 किलोमीटर अवे फ्रॉम एनसीआर, और मैं किसी टीचर से दो चीजों के बारे में पूछूं कि गूगल सर्च में और एआई में कहीं कुछ करते हो तो दोनों में क्या डिफरेंस है, वो सिर्फ इतना ही बताता है कि एक में सिर्फ एक आंसर आ जाता है, एक में बहुत सारी चीजें ओपन होती है तो सर्च करना पड़ता है। तो जबकि फ्री कोर्सेज भी अवेलेबल है और बेसिक चीजों को अगर वो सीखना शुरू करें तो डेफिनेटली आगे आने वाले टाइम में, जैसा आपने स्टार्टिंग में भी कहा कि एज ए असिस्टेंट खासकर रिपीटेटिव वर्क के लिए अगर हम एआई का यूज करें तो वंडरफुल सॉल्यूशन है आज के लिए, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं। एक क्वेश्चन और है सर, आपका सेशन एक्चुअल में इतना अच्छा हुआ, मेरा ये मानना है कि जिसमें क्वेश्चंस आ जाएं तो समझ लीजिए वो सेशन बहुत अच्छा था, और जिसमें और लास्ट में क्वेश्चन ना आए तो फिर बड़ा मुश्किल होता है उस चीज को लेकर। तो एक क्वेश्चन है ये विख्यात गौर। विख्यात, अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ।
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
यस
Dr. Alka Gaur this side. Sir, my question is this, that is there any connection between the mental health of a student and teachers? Like, I mean to say, if a teacher is suffering from some anxiety or depression, or if his or her mental health is not well, so does it impact on our students also? Like, in our childhood, sometimes we used to say कि आज मैडम का मूड सही नहीं है तो मैडम ने अपना गुस्सा हमारे ऊपर उतार दिया, है ना, लग रहा है कि आज घर से लड़ाई। So is there any connection between both of them, or how can we what are the ways how can we sort out this problem?
नहीं विख्यात जी, आपने बहुत बेहतरीन क्वेश्चन पूछा है। मैं लेट मी टेल यू, आई थिंक again I'm going to share my experience with Dr. Sakshi. 3 days before we were discussing, both of us, there was one paper, time is again not permitting, so that's why I'm not showing. That paper is trust, and trust of students on teacher or teachers on student. And that paper describes very well कि अगर दोनों का खाली ट्रस्ट फैक्टर में डिफरेंस आ जाएगा तो लर्निंग में अंतर आ जाएगा. That is one part. You are talking further better emotional state of the teacher. Yes, it do impacts both way. इसको स्पिरिचुअली भी बोला गया है और टेक्नोलॉजिकली भी बोला गया है. स्पिरिचुअली इस तरीके से बोला गया है, all the vibes create the kinds of atmosphere, whether we accept it or not. Science has not been competent to evaluate that how it has started impacting. but it does impact. That's a short answer related to this. Related to the teaching aspects also, because there are teaching aspects also, there are two ways. One is, as you rightly said it, students तुरंत समझ जाते हैं, or the moment they have understood she is not in a good state of mind, lots of neuroscience blockages starts in their receiving system itself. अभी आपके ऊपर जो आएगा वो तो next step है, but they themselves have started stopping their lots of gates. So that is another part. And in you means as a teacher itself, also, as I was trying to tell about cognitive factors, आप ये प्लान करके आए थे, आप बड़े अच्छे से कुछ बताते समय कुछ एग्जाम्पल बोलने वाले थे, and you will still tell the same example, but the way you will comprehend now and how he or she means as a student will comprehend will be affected a lot, because the same information every one of us also comprehend differently because of emotional state, because of intellect given to us is all different, and the way you are communicating. That's why teaching pedagogy is also equally or rather more important. I'm sorry because again इतने छोटे में, because आपका क्वेश्चन बहुत जायज है, इतने छोटे में आंसर देना उचित नहीं है, but yes, it does impact. It does impact.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, I would like to add one more thing. Like we are talking about the mental status of teachers as well as the students here. So, like in our university, we are having one happiness center, which is working very good for the good mental health of the teachers as well as for the students. So, I think it should be everywhere. In Uttarakhand, our center is the first one which has been established by the university. So I think, sir, it's a good initiative, and in other institutions, it should be there.
आई थिंक मैं इसके 3 जवाब दूंगा. पहला जवाब, आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है, हर जगह होना चाहिए, लेकिन हम लोगों में से बहुत जगह पे हैं, बट उसका यूज केस कितना है, इट्स ए क्वेश्चन. सेकंड जवाब जो मैं पहले भी कह रहा था कि जो इसका फायदा उठाते हैं उनको शायद उतनी जरूरत नहीं है, जिनको जरूरत है वो शायद फायदा नहीं उठा पाते हैं. थर्ड जवाब, I don't know just by having happiness center if it could have been solved, but yes, it's a wonderful initiative.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering all the queries of the participant in such a beautiful and enlightening way. Now, to bring today's session to a formal close, I now invite Professor Dr. Sanjay Kumar for the closing remarks.
अब वोट ऑफ थैंक्स पे पहुंचिए. मैंने सर से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन पूछने में टाइम नहीं लूंगा. एक रिक्वेस्ट कर दीजिए पार्टिसिपेंट से कि सभी लोग वीडियो ओपन कर लें, सर के साथ एक ग्रुप फोटो जाए.
ठीक है जी. All the participants are requested to turn on their cameras, and the Google form is already filled, shared in with you in the chat box. You are all supposed to fill the Google form. Okay. Now, as we draw this enlightening session to close, it is my heartfelt duty to extend our sincere gratitude. First and foremost, I would thank Dr. Sushil Chandra for his generous sharing of knowledge. Your research-driven approach combined with real-world application has truly elevated our understanding of mental health. Thank you, sir. A special word of appreciation to Professor Sanjay Kumar, President CTPT, whose tireless efforts and visionary leadership continue to drive transformative conversations like this one. Sir, your dedication to the professional and emotional growth of educator is truly commendable. And last but never least, a warm thank to you, to each one of you, our passionate and committed educators, for being the part of this such important dialogue. Let today's session serve as a gentle reminder to prioritize our own mental health, because self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity, and we should know that when we need that. As educator, we must prioritize our own mental wellness, because only then we can help others fully. Once again, thank you all for joining us. Let's continue to build a mindful, resilient, and empowering teaching community. Thank you so much. And please be there. I will be taking some screenshots for the group photograph. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Sushil sir. And a special thanks to Dr. Monica Mahajan ma'am. आपने इतने अच्छे से सेशन को beginning से end तक moderate किया. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
All the participants are requested to fill the Google form. It's already shared in the chat so that we can issue you certificates of the workshop. And once you have filled the Google form, you can leave.
Thank you so much, Sushil sir. Once
Thank
again,
you, sir.
thank you so much. बहुत अच्छा सेशन रहा, बहुत अच्छा लगा सुनना. कुछ चीजें जो आप कहते हैं ना कि रियलाइजेशन तक तो पहुंचे, तो अगर वहां तक भी पहुंचे तो फिर उसके बाद का काम शुरू है.
मुझे खुशी है अगर if it has been useful even for few. I'm really happy.
Thank you so much. मोनिका मैम, यू कैन लीव. मैं 5 मिनट्स में बंद कर दूंगा, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. ये लोग फीडबैक
Okay,
फॉर्म फिल कर लेंगे ना, मैं बंद कर दूंगा.
ठीक है, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.